Welcome back, guys. So today in this video, we're going to be talking about what I consider to be a must-have accessory for both the Sega Saturn and the Sega Dreamcast, and that is the Wingman Converter SD from Brook. So in my previous video, I tested it out on the Sega Dreamcast, and it works beautifully. It allows us to use wired and wireless controllers from Xbox, PlayStation, and the Nintendo Switch on these Sega consoles by using this adapter here. So on this adapter, we have plugs for the ports on those two consoles, Sega Dreamcast and Saturn. And then on the other end, we have this little box right here, pretty much the receiver end. You could plug in a wired controller. You could update the firmware through the micro USB there. And you have a couple LEDs, right? So we're going to go ahead and test this out on the Sega Saturn. This device is supposed to come out early July from what I understand. And I'm not sure if I'm the only one who has one at the current moment to test, but when I tested it initially on the Sega Saturn, I found a couple issues that may not have been apparent to everybody who would have used this. So one of the issues was button remapping. Worked perfectly fine on the Dreamcast, but on the Saturn, I was having an issue with that. And the issue was because of the way the Saturn controller's laid out, and the way it maps it to these controllers. Playing Capcom games, it was a little weird because it wouldn't allow you in a lot of these games to remap the shoulder buttons on the Sega Saturn controller. And those would be put down here, the R2 and the L2 on most arcade sticks. So I was coming into an issue where I couldn't map this the way I wanted it. Brook, these guys are freaking awesome. I let them know, and pretty much immediately they fixed the issue. So I did update the firmware on this. Pretty simple stuff. And now it works beautifully well. So I want to showcase that, show you how it works on the Saturn, show you how to do the remap and all that good stuff. And the cool thing is when you do the remap, it saves it. Like, you don't have to do it every damn time. So that's really cool. So we got the adapter plugged into the Saturn. We have our Mayflash F500 Elite plugged in, and we're almost ready to go. So the light down here, this green light is showing us that we're in 3D gamepad mode. We don't want to use that when we're using an arcade stick. So what you have to do is change the mode. So I know in my previous video, I showed these little diagrams here. It's pretty simple. Default is 3D control mode. We want it in standard mode. So we're going to have to hold select and the cross button just for a second, and the LED will change red. So let's go ahead and do that. The share button should be select. Press select and cross, and then boom, the light changed to red. So now the stick is going to function. So let's go ahead and get into a game. And then I'm going to showcase button remapping and turbo functionality with this device on Saturn. So let's get into it real quick. So by default on this arcade stick and every arcade stick that I have, my Hori arcade sticks, the 8-bit arcade stick, they're all laid out the same to where on a game like this on the Saturn, the L and R buttons are down here, the R2 and the L2 that I have listed from, for the PlayStation. Those are down here, and those default to punch 3 and kick 3. So all 3 buttons at the same time. So in this game, for example, X-Men versus Street Fighter, you can't remap that. You can't really change it too much. Like, there's a few things you could do, but you can't change it to an individual button. That's kind of unfortunate. But everything else is fine, like left or light punch, medium punch, high punch. And then down here, low kick, medium kick. And then this, it's registering as like the L or the R button, right? Or the R button anyway. So these two, you can't remap. The Z button, which is high kick, is up here. Since this game doesn't allow us to remap that, we have to use the tool for the Brooks converter, the Wingman SD, in order to remap that. So let's go ahead and get back into the game. Show you this button down here. It's registering, okay, as 3 kicks. So we don't want that. What we want is to register that button as this button. So to set the remap, we're going to press start and a PS button. So we hit start and a PS button, light turned off. So now we're in remap mode. Next thing is you're going to choose the button that you want to change the function to. So we're going to press that. And then from there, we're going to hold select, which is going to be the share button, and press the button that we want that to function as. So let's go ahead and hold select, press that top button, let go, press start, press the PS button, and now we should be good. It has saved, the light is back on, we're ready to go. And as you see, that button is now registering as high kick. Nothing funky going on, everything is good. If I unplug this, if I turn the console off, replug everything in, plug in a different arcade stick that has the same layout, this is all saved. It's just gonna function this way until I decide to clear that, or I decide to, change the remap, right? So that is really cool that it works like that. They resolved that issue that I found immediately. Man, these guys, I'm gonna be buying another one of these. I have to have a couple of them. I really do think for the Saturn and the Dreamcast, this is like definitely a must-have. To be able to use newer arcade sticks, that's awesome to me. I'm getting a lot of use out of my arcade sticks, being able to use them for multiple consoles now, retro consoles. Brook is really doing some amazing work here. I mean, they're very highly respected in the retro gaming community and the fighting game community with everything they've done. So that's really cool. And it's tournament legal from what I understand. I know people have been asking, where can I pre-order this? I know Focus Attack had them for pre-order, and Focus Attack told me that they sold out of pre-orders like immediately, which is pretty damn crazy, but they're gonna get more in stock. And then they're supposed to get like another shipment after that. Like they have a couple set shipments that they're gonna be getting once that pre-order allotment, which is already gone. They're gonna be getting another allotment. So take a look at them. I do like Focus Attack. Like I got this arcade stick, customized from them and whatnot. So definitely highly recommended to take a look at those guys. I believe it was listed as $45 through them, whereas Brook has it listed at $50. So hey, once they go back in stock there, saving a few bucks anyway. I know there's a few other places. If you just search, Brook Wingman SD, you'll find other sellers out there. But Focus Attack was the main one that I knew about. Everything's functioning just great. And like I said in the other video, you can, like, if you want to use wireless controllers, you could use these. They work just fine. I've showcased that. Everything's great here. So let's go ahead and set turbo. If we want to clear the remap, it's very simple. Press start and the PS button. So the light went off. Let's go ahead and clear that just real quick so you can see that it actually clears it. If you want to clear everything, press start and select, and then we're pretty much done. So we'll press start and select, and then we'll press start, the PS button, and then everything's saved. And now it should be, yeah, it's back to what I didn't want it as. So there's that. You could clear it that way. Now to set turbo, pretty simple. Selecting the PS button. So let's do that. Selecting PS, light went off. Choose the function button that we want to put into turbo, but hold select first. So that's going to be share. Press that, press start, press the PS button, and now we have turbo. You see, just holding that button down, getting my butt whooped there. And boom, it works. To clear the turbo, I almost forgot to mention this part. We're going to press the select and PS button. Boom. And then hold select and start. Boom. Press start, PS button. And now that is cleared out. As you see, no more turbo on the light punch button. So very simple stuff there. So I'm really, really happy with this adapter. They did send it to me for purpose of review a little early, and I'm really happy that they did. Was really looking forward to this thing. And like I said, now that I know how it functions, now that I know that it functions perfectly the way I expected it to, I'm buying me another one as soon as pre-orders go back up on Focus Attack. So I'm not sponsored by Focus Attack or anything like that, but I have bought a lot of stuff from them, and they're one of the ones that I noticed had it listed on their site. So that's why I'm bringing them up. You know what I'm saying? Must have accessory for me. That's my opinion. You know, take it or leave it. Your opinion may be different. I know a lot of people do like having the original arcade sticks for these consoles, and that's great. I do as well. I have the original, it's the original arcade stick for the Dreamcast one with the green buttons. And that's an okay stick, but you know, it does require a little bit of modding to keep it up to snuff and in fighting shape. Especially the stick kind of goes limp over time after a lot of use. And you know, it's great having those and being able to refurbish them, but I already have a ton of arcade sticks and I don't own a dedicated stick for the Saturn. So this adapter, it just gives me extra use out of these controllers. This controller, for example, yeah, it's customized a little bit, but it came stock with Sanwa buttons. And it works on like every console, every current gen console. And I paid less than $100 for this. It was on sale at one point. And usually this controller is around 100, 120 bucks with all Sanwa parts. I mean, you could find some good controllers out there. There's a lot of different brands. I have tons of them. And, you know, just one that I'm pointing out. And then like the Hori Real Arcade Pro, the Soul Calibur 6 edition, they were clearancing those things out. And I got a couple of them for around $80, I want to say. Maybe one of them around 70-ish. Really reasonable price. And those Hayabusa buttons and sticks feel fine to me. So there's options out there. And I love being able to use them on these consoles. So just wanted to give you guys a heads up. Everything's working great with the Brook adapter. Digging what they're doing. Really do appreciate you guys. With that said, I will catch y'all next time. Peace out. Bye-bye. And boom. Bye.